Okay, a rabbit. A rabbit just was here. Let's see if we can see this rabbit. Oh, there he is. Do you see him? So I just switched to linear view. Here's the first synchronizing gangstalker. Turns into the fusion center. I was kind of hopeful. I mean, Targeted Justice, I watched them. There's another guy I watch named USAGSA, Richard Moore. I like his channel a lot. He says Targeted Justice are fake. There's a lot of other TIs who tell me that too. They're like, they're lying, or they're either misguided or they're lying. But Targeted Justice says that Tulsi Gabbard is on our side, and she's targeted as well. She's on the Quiet Skies terror watch list. Now, whether that's the MK Ultra like we're on, I don't really know. And I was watching some kind of news report today. I don't really watch news reports because it just seems so ridiculous. Like, none of them talk about what we're going through. Hold on, I'm just changing the song. Like, even the most with it, like, hip, counterculture, alternative, hey, we're against the man. Even those kind of news channels, they describe FISA 702 as spying. They never say it's terrorism. And so I'm thinking, how could even these, here's the first missing headlight, really alternative news media places on YouTube, like these independent podcasts, they don't even say the half of it, what's going on. And they're supposed to represent the underdog. There's a guy walking by the cemetery. The underdog who has no voice, and they don't even represent us. And then they say that Tulsi is basically backstabbing us because Tulsi was interested to stop FISA, and then in order to get elected into her position, she had to say, actually, I like FISA now. Actually, FISA is only to spy on foreign terrorists or something. But they don't even say anything about it, like that it's MK Ultra, that it's COINTELPRO. And so Targeted Justice is saying Tulsi is helping us. You know, she's here to reform the program or tear it down or something. But as far as I know, Tulsi is already happy with the reform that the program has already made, and it's no different to us. And then apparently the executive orders that Trump made, this is according to Targeted Justice, are basically going to be shutting down the program. And I just don't know. You know, my first thought when I first realized I was being targeted, I was like, fuck Targeted Justice. Ain't no way they're gonna help us. Fuck all these politicians. Ain't no way they're gonna help us. And then I was sort of maybe hopeful because I'm desperate. Like, no, someone is gonna save us, I swear. No, they will. I do believe in them. I believe in them now. But it's just like a bias. Like, I'm just so desperate. But when I first realized I was being targeted, I was like, fuck everybody. Fuck the TI community too. Fuck everybody. I don't like anyone. Here's another gangstalker. I don't like fucking anyone. I'm not part of any community. And yeah, maybe I'm back there again. Maybe I'm back there because I posted this picture that was like this person gang stalking me, and it wasn't that obvious that I was being gang stalked, but I mean it was to people who are being gang stalked, but basically no one supported me because it was kind of a taboo picture to post. And you know how they use their kids. It was this woman with her kids turning her card into me, and I thought, I bet I posted this picture of this other guy who was gang stalking me, and it got like 25 upvotes. And then the picture of the woman with her kids doing it, she got, and even though the kids' faces weren't in the picture, like I respected the privacy, but that got like 2 upvotes. And it got like no support comparatively. And I was like, if this same mother without the kids and just was a dude, this would have got like 20 upvotes. And the people who are targeted know that this is a gang stalker, but they won't say shit because, because it looks bad. And so I kind of felt the same with targeted justice at the times when I thought targeted justice is real, which I kind of do. I don't exactly know. I think Richard Moore, USA GSA, is real. Because targeted justice talks about V2K, and they say the proof for V2K is that children hear voices, and that's not something that's in the DSM. The mental health literature on schizophrenia and hearing voices says that you start being schizophrenic at age 20 or something. And so therefore it proves that when these children are hearing voices who are like 10, it means that they are being hit with microwave weapons, that they have some sort of implant, that they've been chipped, and the chip works like a receiver, and then they're being beamed with microwaves that create an auditory effect. And we know this kind of technology is possible. I mean, there was some guy playing video games with his mind. Like, if you have some kind of device in your brain, you can communicate with your mind. Even with electrodes on top of your head, I think you can communicate with your mind. And so, I mean, then it's kind of far out though to say, well, they chipped you? Well, yeah, they break in our house all the time, and they drug us in order to do that. We never wake up, but our houses are being broken into while we're sleeping. And lots of us get raped. There are plenty of women who wake up and they know they've been raped. And there was one guy who had part of his ear cut off. And so they're drugging us out. It's not that unrealistic to say that they could put a chip in someone's brain. But anyway, that would kind of piss me off when targeted justice would say that, because I thought, even hypothetically, if it is true, which I don't know, I've never had V2K. As far as I know, V2K is complete bullshit, and the people who are talking about V2K are actually perps, and they're trying to make us look crazy. I mean, there's one person who I believe who says that they are reading her mind, and I don't know if they're actually reading her mind, but I believe that she believes that they're reading her mind. So, and there was this thing with Darren Brown too. He's a mentalist. He's like the best mentalist in the world, and he would do this experiment with people where he would drive them in a taxi cab from like 10 minutes away to a certain room. And so on the drive, they would have certain symbols, like they'd have an arch or something, like a McDonald's arch. And right as the person was looking out the window and passing a McDonald's arch, they would have a horn honk or something, so that that image would be somehow implanted into the person's mind. Like they would have some kind of trigger thing, like, okay, let's honk a horn when we go by the McDonald's arch. And the person has no idea that this is happening. And then they get to this room, and Darren Brown, this mentalist, he says, draw a picture, anything you want. And I've already drawn a picture here. And the picture that I've already drawn is going to be the picture you draw. And so the person draws a picture, which they think is random, but they end up drawing the same thing that Darren drew, because what they're drawing has been primed in their mind already from those triggers that they had. What am I looking? Oh, avocados. From those triggers they had along the drive. And the person didn't even know that they were being triggered. So I think there are a lot of ways that you could convince someone that their mind is being read. Or there are a lot of kind of ways you can implant a thought into someone's mind. And the whole point is to, make them look crazy. So the good avocados are 2 for $5, which is crazy expensive. You can never get good avocados. I'm almost thinking I should go to a different store. This is such bullshit. This fucking retard. The cheap avocados are, look at this guy. Okay. Yeah, these are almost ripe, but they're not really ripe. So I don't know what to do. But anyways, so when targeted justice would say, we're taking our court case and we're using as evidence that these children hear voices and that proves that there's V2K, I would think don't say that, because even hypothetically, if it is true, that is, you can't even prove it. It doesn't look plausible. So don't say it, because you're just gonna discredit us. And so I felt kind of a sympathy for the people who didn't support me when I was like, fuck the TI community. I don't want to. They're not. They know that this is real. They're not supporting me. I kind of felt sympathy because just hypothetically, if the V2K is real, then okay, this is the best avocado I could find actually. Then I'm also not someone who talks about it. Okay, this is actually crazy. Like, the fact that they don't have any fucking ripe avocados, and if I go to Zayre's, their avocados are going to be twice as big and the same price. Far better. Oh, yeah. And so it took me a while to trust people. When I first was disheartened by what's happening, I basically turned away from everyone. And that was very sad. Someone was telling me recently, I'm so sorry, because I was talking about how I don't trust anyone, and even with family, I have no clue if they're in on it. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry your family's in on it. And I was like, well, I don't know if they're in on it, but not knowing is painful as well. And this person was like, she's an old woman, and she was like, that must be so sad, I can't even imagine. And I was like, oh, it's no big deal. But then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, yeah, it is really, really sad. And it was immensely painful. Now, the gangstalkers know that I'm coming exactly to this spot, so they put this here. Now, I kind of want to get a pie, but if I do that, then I have to get milk, which is expensive. But I actually do really want a pie, so I think that would be cool. if they have pie crust. The last pies I made all turned out to be terrible. But now I know how to do it better. Okay, so this is actually the best pie filling. And then I need some special milk. And if they don't have avocados at Zayre's, I'm gonna go totally crazy. I am spending a lot these days on food. I am getting fat. I should maybe check my diet a bit. But I'm kind of an extreme person. $3.49. This is too expensive. Almond milk $2.27. That's better. Vanilla unsweetened. That's much better. You know, soy would probably be better, but whatever. Oat. $2.27. I'll go for the cheapest one. Wonder if I'm gonna get stuck in line here. Okay. One. Vanilla, that's awesome. These are $7.49. These would be $5 at another place. Non-barcoded item. Hans avocado, 1. Should be $2.50. Pay. Skip bagging. Pay. No, I don't want to donate. Here's a fucking retard. Gangstalker. Okay. 17. Yeah, so it took me a while to trust other TIs. At first I thought the other TIs were crazy. There was lots of things that the other TIs knew that I didn't even know. Like they said, there are people following you with one headlight. And I would think, really? You know, I thought it was just... And then I'd see these one headlights and I'd think, oh, yeah, I guess maybe that's a gangstalker. And now I'm like, yeah, obviously I can, it's like fucking clockwork. I know where they're gonna be. And then I was talking to my mom about the gang-stalking tenant who smokes in the house all the time. And my mom's like, oh, I don't smell anything. And I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding? Like, I don't know if you're... I actually don't understand how you believe that there's no smoke. See, here's one headlighter. Piece of shit. Look at this guy. And so, like, as I'm talking to her about this, I'm in the kitchen, and right then, the gangstalker tenant goes outside in front of the kitchen window to have a smoke. And my mom's like, oh, look, see? That proves it. She's smoking outside right now. And I just took it as a hypothesis at that point. Assuming my mom is not a gangstalker, and assuming she doesn't know that gangstalking is real. Look how crazy that would look. No, the tenant is walking out in front of the window because I'm here. Because I just walked in the kitchen, and when I walk in the kitchen, that's what she does. She walks out in front of me in the window. My mom would say, what? Well, why would anyone do that? That's crazy. Why would someone do that? You think she's walking in front of the window just to walk in front of you? Yeah, that's right. That's what she is doing. And I said the last 3 times I went outside to do snow blowing, each time she went outside as well and stood in the driveway. What's up with that? And my mom was like, well, when you go downstairs, because we share a laundry room, do you smell smoke then? And I was like, no. And then I was feeling defeated. I was like, fuck, you know, like, You're arguing against me so hard here, and I can't even breathe. Like, I'm fucking dying over here. I'm fucking sick over here, and you're arguing against me, like, telling me I'm imagining it. And I was like, it doesn't smell like smoke like 20 minutes after she smokes. Like, I'm not talking about stale smoke. I'm talking about not being able to breathe. Like, once she goes to bed, within like 20 minutes of her going to bed, the gangstalking tenant, I'm already feeling like I can breathe again. And so just because she doesn't smoke on our laundry days when we go downstairs to do the laundry, because she hides the fact that she smokes. I guess she does. Like, I mean, she doesn't hide it. It's fucking obvious. But, you know, she waits till my mom goes to bed usually. Like, my mom, as soon as my mom falls asleep, she starts chain smoking. But she also smokes while my mom is awake too. And I'm like, I can't believe you can't smell this. And my mom is on heavy, I think she's on some pretty heavy medication. Like, so I could see that my mom wouldn't have the sensitivity to notice, to be able to smell anything, just because of what the medication does. Like, I think she's on like sleep pills or something. I don't know, but I think it's heavy. And so I was basically like, just because I can't smell the smoke when I go downstairs to do the laundry on the laundry day, that she knows what day that is and she knows when we're going to be doing the laundry. It doesn't mean she doesn't smoke all the time in the house with the windows up. And that's the thing that really bothers me. She keeps the windows. She doesn't even open the windows. Like, it's so rude. Like, it's so rude. And there's like 7,000 chemicals in smoke. And so this someone on Quora, they were like, well, why don't you just get an air filter? And I was like, oh. And then, so I told my mom that too. My mom actually suggested it also. And so she was looking at air filters, and my birthday's coming up, so maybe I can get a birthday present air filter. People on Reddit say that you actually can't really get much good results with an air filter if the person keeps smoking. And especially because air filters range in price from like $200 to $1,000. I keep my room window open in the freezing cold, and it doesn't even help. Like, I'm like wearing a winter coat in my room, and it's still like it's that caustic. It's caustic. It hurts, you know. Breathing hurts. Like, I have a sore throat. It doesn't go away. I cough. Like, it sucks. Like, it fucking sucks. If smoking didn't exist, like if smoking wasn't a cultural norm and someone just pumped secondhand smoke into your house 24/7, you would literally say, I'm being poisoned. Like, I can't breathe. Like, there's something making me not be able to breathe that's hurting me. Like, it's culturally accepted. Like, oh, it's just poison, huh? But we like it. But it is poison. Like, it's not cool. And the timing of our cats getting sick too has timed with the tenant smoking. But imagine telling my mom that. Like, my mom went to the vet with her cat and found out that he has diabetes, or I think it's diabetes, I don't know, but he's on medication now. And imagine telling my mom that, if she doesn't know what gangstalking is, that medical and veterinarian malpractice is part of gangstalking. And they'll falsely diagnose your pets and give them fucked up medication. They'll falsely diagnose you and give you medication that you don't need, that's not good for you. Like, do you know how cynical it is? Like, how completely corrupt. Like, it's so corrupt. Like, Malcolm X has a good analogy for it. Like, you suffer in peace. You know, like the dentist is ripping your teeth out, but he gives you some Novocaine to attenuate the pain. And so you're bleeding all over, you don't know where you are, but at least you're peaceful. And so the doctor says, hey, is someone out to get you? Oh, how are you doing? And the doctor knows that you're being terrorized. And the doctor says, okay, well, you know, that sounds like you're mentally ill, and we really, you know, we want to know that you're okay, and we want to give you some medication. And then they give you something that hurts you. Like, if you take crazy pills when you're not crazy, that makes you crazy. There's like the reverse homeopathy law, something like that. Like if you give a crazy person crazy pills, it makes them not crazy. But if you give a not crazy person crazy pills, it makes them crazy. And so like that's heinous. Like it's so heinously abusive. But it's all done, it's all disguised that you're going to suffer in peace. You're going to die in peace. You know, you're not going to make any mess about it. You're not going to make any noise about it. Just take your Novocaine and shut the fuck up. And in an orderly fashion. That's how you're going to suffer, in an orderly, controlled fashion. So anyways, my pie is $6. I did not get whipped cream for it this time. And I'm thinking of doing a water fast. I'm just about there. It's prime time for gangstalking right now. This is when the most gangstalkers are out. And how is it going to end when there's like 10 gangstalkers on every street? Like, what are you going to imprison 10% of the population? You're going to imprison like 3 million people in Canada or more. Like maybe it's like 30% of the population. And what am I supposed to hope for? Tulsi Gabbard, who's like, no, I like FISA now. It's cool. And then even the really good podcasts. There's so many cars brighting me, like in every parking lot. Every parking lot I go by, you can't see this, but every parking lot I go by, just about, there's a car brighting me. I probably have 100 people right now following me. Just for this one trip, including all the people in the parking lots. There's 100 people against me. And yeah, I'm thankful because I realized all my friends were basically retards, as I also was. But I grew out of it. I matured past it. And it's so sad that I don't relate to them anymore. And now I do have people I relate to. And even among them, I don't relate, except for the very few. Even among the TIs, I don't relate. I don't like 99 out of 100 people, and I don't like 9 out of 10 TIs. And I don't like 100 out of 100 gangstalkers. So I have no community here, except for a very few. Very few. And I'm thankful for that. That's something. But I'm not giving credit to the gangstalkers. Like, well, they made me, you know. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have woken up. I woke myself up. Yeah, you know, the gangstalkers, they just tortured me until finally I understood. Finally I could see the ways of the world. You know, they were so corrupt that I grew as a person. Yeah, I mean, there's no fucking avocados. This is really sad. This is actually really sad. I'm pretty upset right now. Why are there no avocados? Oh, look at this. Thank God for Zares. Oh my God. Oh my God, they're ripe. $7. Oh yes. Thank God for people being cheap. Well, I don't have the money for this either, but this is about the price of all-you-can-eat sushi. $20. Okay, now the only question left is, should I get some whipped cream for my, whatever that thing is called, the pie? I don't think so. Too expensive. It barely makes it better. It's good on its own. This bitch is a gangstalker, skinny hoe. One time she was like, keep that trouble out of here. Hope she kills herself. I hope she, if she has kids, I hope she puts a picture of her kids up and looks at it while she hangs herself. Oh yeah, got some avocados. This would be a gangstalker. This would be a gangstalker. Now I'm not aggressive. Like, I could turn my high beams on right now to shine it at this car in front of me to say like, fuck you. I wouldn't do that. Because they're Nazis. And that's not a fair fight. Fighting with a Nazi when you're a Jew in a camp, that's not a fair fight. They would do something bad if I did that. Well, they'd vandalize our car, they'd break something, they'd steal something. They basically say you're gonna get fucked and you're gonna shut the fuck up. And it's a humiliating loss of dignity to just do nothing about it. You know, hey, you don't like getting raped? Well, we're gonna rape you with a hot iron unless you just bite the pillow and shut up. So it's your choice. And so at first you feel like a pushover. Am I gonna just bite the pillow and I'm just a bitch? Well, not really. You know, it's sometimes there's more strength in restraint. I mean, what are you really doing besides harming yourself if you fight back? And I'm not saying don't fight back. You know, like some people say fight back, and I think they're great. I think they're heroes, actually. When people fight back and sacrifice their life, I actually think of those people as heroes. I think those are the coolest, best people. But I don't want to die. You know, I don't want to get fucking killed. So I'm not fighting. And I think that takes strength. And I think that's a valid method too. That is a valid method of fighting. Restraint and exposure is a valid method as well. Oh my god, if they didn't have those avocados, I would have been pissed. There's just a woman to the left of me walking by the cemetery. All of these things I can predict, but I'm not really trying to convince anyone anymore. By the way, since I'm into microphones so much, another car to the left of me brighting me. The microphone I'm using right now is the Rode Wireless ME, but it's plugged right into the camera. And I actually really do love this microphone. It's actually one of my favorites. So I made sweet potatoes. I breaded and deep fried sweet potatoes to put in my sushi. I have marinated something or other, marinated tofu, and so it's going to be sweet potato and tofu and avocado rolls. I got sushi rice as opposed to just using regular rice. And I think this is going to be pretty awesome.